Hey guys, so from time to time I do little reviews every now and then of products that I think you might be interested in, and today is just one of those times. So I actually found this on our last trip up to the cabin. I was at an auto parts store getting a light bulb for the truck, I think something minor, and I spotted these sitting on the shelf right here. Oh, by the way, we are almost professional today. Almost, not quite. I'm actually wired to a mic. So tell me how you think of the audio sounds. I'm trying several different things. This is a Sony Bluetooth system that I just picked up for the channel specifically because when I stand back, to get a full frame shot, sometimes the audio goes real quiet. And I noticed when I was doing some of these cabin videos, you really couldn't hear me in the background if I was, way in the back. And sometimes I like to, show a wider angle shot, and then the audio is gone. So I'm going to try this thing out for a while. It seems like a pretty good system. I actually have a lapel mic hooked up to it. I'm going to try it with both. So the lapel, it seemed like it was a little louder than just running it by itself. But I'll try both over the next few days and just leave a comment and see if that sounds better or worse. What do you think? Again, just trying to keep it to where there's good quality audio as part of the video. So, with no further ado, I picked one of these up. Let's see if we can get a close up on it. Now, this is made by a company called Easy Red. It's patented. I haven't checked to see what the patent actually is on. I'm guessing it's something to do with the position of the LEDs. So, I saw these sitting on the counter. Just I don't care much for. To be honest, I like what I like, and sometimes these little gas station gadgets and auto parts store gadgets are just kind of cheap and chintzy, and I would put this in the category of inexpensive. Is it cheap? I expected to pay more for it. I asked him. I turned it on. First, I looked at it. It feels, it's not real super high quality feeling, but it's got a little bit of a rubbery kind of grippy texture to it. It looks kind of like a tool, kind of like something you'd see in an auto parts store. Turned it on, and it was you probably can't get a feel for that. It's going to adjust. The camera's going to adjust, but 150 lumens, and usually their claims are kind of on the ambitious side for these things, but I was pretty much blinded. You don't want to look at it directly, but let's see if I can kind of light my face up here. Super bright, and I'm going to get into showing you the beam that this thing throws, or lack of beam, but put this, I can see several purposes. The obvious purpose is that this is designed as a micro shop light. You've seen these ones that you'd buy for auto, working on a car, where you hang it with a cord, or it's maybe it's cordless or whatever, but it's got a hook on it, can hang in the engine bay, and it's a floodlight. So essentially, there's probably 10 to 15 LEDs built on this, and this is the second version that came out earlier this year or late last year. I can't remember, but it won an award. I did a little research on it. Easy Red's a company that's been around since apparently 1966. I'm guessing it was, the hot rod, parts and various upgrade kits, because they sell quite a bit of stuff. And of course, I can't see where this is made. I'm going to guess that it's made in China. I don't know. I'm just going to assume that. Maybe that's wrong of me to assume that. But I picked this up for under $10. Okay, you can buy this on Amazon. I will provide a link to an Amazon page. But I think it's well worth it. It's one of those things where a normal flashlight, an EDC flashlight that you'd have throws usually a good, hot spot beam, and sometimes you'll want that. But what I find is when I'm doing a lot of work on cars or working on the ATV, sometimes you'll want something to flood that whole area with and be dedicated to that. The other interesting thing is the second version of this has apparently, I've never held the first iteration. I know it had just single LEDs, and this is called a COB, which is chip on board. It's kind of the modern style of LED, a lot brighter. But this is a magnetic base, so you can actually hang this in an engine bay, or on a hood of a car, or on a fridge, or underneath the I told one of these guys at work about it. He picked one, went right down to the store and picked one up and used it that night working on his sink. So he was able to hang it, magnetic, connect it up to his sink, and then flood the whole, plumbing area, and he loved it. So, I mean, a lot of people haven't seen these. I noticed they're marketing these in outdoor shops now, and some of the outdoor retailer type stuff, because I think there is a more of a broad purpose for this than just working on working on cars with. But, and again, it's the simple fact that it throws a very wide beam, and the size of a normal pen light. And so, you can fit this. They really aren't. I'm going to give you kind of an idea. Just got a clip. You can clip this to the inside of this jacket, kind of like a pen. It's. And again, these aren't super high quality. I'm going to guess. I don't know what the durability is, but it's $10, and so you can pick up a couple for the price, 2 or 3 of them for the price you'd pay for an expensive light. And this is going to get probably beat up pretty bad under hoods of cars and just thrown around. But the other thing about it is that it's not round, and this is great because in certain applications, I mean, yeah, it doesn't have the ergonomics of a tactical flashlight or whatever, but it's not round, and so you can lay it somewhere and have a nice floodlight. It's not really a beam; it's more of it just kind of lights up the whole general area. You can see it back here. It doesn't. You can kind of see it, but it doesn't. It does not throw a beam. It's very soft, but also very bright. I'm not looking directly at it. You'll see spots for a while, and it's super bright. 3 AAA batteries. I'll show you that right here. So they're just like a standard, comes with easy red AAA batteries. Wow, rebranded. Who knows? There's 3 of them that fit in there, and it gets away with a small form factor because the light is not on the front, I think, and it's on the side. And so you get the same size of a pen light, but you actually get 3 full LEDs to drive these things, to almost overdrive this light. So the other thing about this one, and it's kind of smarter, I think this is the second version had the clip on the very, 180 degrees from the light. Okay, so what you can use that for is almost a makeshift. Put this on right here. You can clip it on a pocket, and you can use it as kind of a hands-free. If you're working, let's say you're changing a tire outside, and you can clip it onto a pants pocket, or you can clip it onto a shirt pocket. And if you don't have a headlamp with you, it's nice for hands-free work. So this actually gives you can see how much that's lighting up my hands. But it's a really nice design. The other one, I think they made an improvement because it would be angled like that, which doesn't really do anything. But this is kind of a secondary feature of it, I think. And it's actually it's a simple design, but I like these little innovations. They're not it's not an expensive product. It's not a top a super high-end product, but what can you say? It works, and you can see the beam pattern right here as you get away from it. Well, I'll show that in a minute and show you in the dark how this thing lights up. All right, I'm roughly 10 feet, maybe 8 to 10 feet away from my garage door. I'll zoom out a little bit as far as I can. And lights are off, but there's some ambient light from an open window. It is kind of early, it's kind of morning right now. I'm going to turn the light on. I'm going to be right back behind the camera with it. So this gives you about an 8-foot distance to a white garage door wall. Oh, look at that. Very little hot spot. Look at this. So I'm rotating it to the left. You can kind of see the edge of the beam there. And I'm going to rotate it all. I'm still rotating to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, about 45 degrees, maybe 30 degrees off center. So you get the other side. So it's a very big flood. Now it's kind of an oval shape. So now I'm going to point this down and see if you can get the top of the beam. I'm about 70 degrees. I'm almost pointing this at the ground. You can see it throws way out to the sides, up and down because of that oval pattern. Now I'm going to go up, and you almost don't even see it. I'm nearly straight up right now, and it's just a floodlight at this point. So it's not as bright as say a Surefire, weapons light where you just really get that blasting light. But this thing will last for, allegedly on 3 AA batteries, it'll last for 7 to 8 hours on. There's no low and high beam. There's no low and high setting, which might be kind of nice, but it's a very simple product. So it's on all the time, super bright, and it's got a nice clicky, clicky button that you can kind of. It feels very good. It feels very solid. It's not waterproof. I'd say it's water resistant. It doesn't make that claim. But I mean, look at the throw on this thing. It really lights up the whole. I'll turn this sideways now, so I'm literally 45 degrees off center now with holding it sideways. And I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees the other way. I'm kind of getting in frame here, but this is what you'd see. So it's a very broad, when it throws it at the wall that far away, it's not super bright, but you can definitely see it. And it would work for, this would work for laying on the ground, changing a tire would be perfect for that. You get a nice broad thing. And also for signaling. We talked about I'm going to kind of hold it up here now. For signaling, it's a strange looking light when you see it from a distance. So it's long, and it would really grab your attention as something different than a flashlight. So if you need to flag somebody down in a signaling situation, it's like a light. It's like a light stick, a short light stick, which is really kind of unique. But you could move it around, and it would flag. You could easily use this to signal and flag somebody down. I mean, they would see it for probably miles. It's so bright. So it's probably getting out of focus here, but that gives you an idea of the beam. Well, that kind of wraps it up. So I hope you enjoyed it. This is, again, this isn't a channel really dedicated to doing product reviews. I do them when I think I find something that would be interesting to my audience and all 10 of you out there. I know, I'm just kidding. But if I find something that I think is affordable and a very good product, this is one of those. Long-term testing obviously is not done, and I'm gonna do it like I always do and kind of keep you updated on this kind of stuff. It's brand new. I mean, I just picked this up. I haven't really had a chance to use it hard, but I'm assuming it'll be all right for a while. And if it breaks after a couple of years, well, you can get another one. Or probably have another couple of generations of them done by then. But I think this is one of those products that you could use in a variety of scenarios. They do come in different colors. This is their original red, it's kind of that snap-on tool, kind of toolbox craftsman look, but they come in pink and yellow and various colors. And I'm sure you're going to see an array of different configurations for this thing in the future. It seems like a good platform to build on. But we are going to test it out and just see how it works. I have, unfortunately, looks like a bit more work to do on our car today. It's like kind of the never-ending story. So I'll probably be using this a fair amount in the next couple of days. It'll probably be getting greasy and nasty. So, if something happens, if it doesn't take the abuse, I'll let you know and don't pick it up. But from what I've read and so far what I've seen, it looks like a pretty solid product for the price. So hope you enjoy it. Get a close-up on it. Is that the right way? Oh, I'll turn it up. I'll turn it right side up so you can see the branding of it. Easy Red. COB handheld light stick, I think is what they officially call this thing. It's a floodlight. It's a micro work light.